Hi, 5th grade. This video comes from my backyard because I needed some sunshine and fresh air. Brian Busby was right. It may not be 70 degrees yet, but look at this beautiful blue sky and the sunshine, and somehow the sun helps me think that everything might just be okay. So, chapter 6 of Hank the Cowdog Faded Love. As funny, I hear real dogs barking in the background as I read a book about dogs. Yesterday, Hank bombed out with love as he got busted by the cattle rustler who was actually just trying to fix his car. And so he and Drover are going along, and the next chapter is called Unexpected Company. There goes Lily, my neighbor's dog, back there. Well, you're just going to have to, it'll be like sound effects, natural sound effects. There for a minute, I was afraid the quicksand monster was going to get me again, but I swam to the shore with extra long strokes and managed to escape. I climbed out on the bank and shook myself. Drover stood nearby, looking his usual simple self. "Hank, did you jump, or did that man throw you out?" "What do you think?" "Well, I wasn't sure, and I thought I'd ask." "He threw me out, you dunce, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't been for you, I'd be taking a moonlight ride with a beautiful beagle right this minute. I hope you're happy." Drover sneezed. "Well, I am kind of happy. I didn't want to stay here by myself, 'cause, he rolled his eyes and looked up at the big cottonwood trees that grew along the bank. "Hank, it's getting dark, and I'm scared, and I'm hungry, and I want to go home." "Well, that's tough. We quit our jobs so we could go on the road and find romance, and we ain't going back till we do. In fact, we ain't going back, period." He started sniffling. "But Hank, you promised I could go back home after we lived off the land." No. If you'll recall my exact words, I promised I'd take it under advisement. I've taken it under advisement, and the answer is forget it. Come on, let's move down the creek. Stay behind me, and I don't want to hear any more yapping and whimpering out of you. I found a cow trail on the east bank and followed it in a northeasterly direction. I checked the stars and did a few navigational computations. I did my navigation stuff, but even more important, I knew that if we followed this creek far enough, we'd end up on the ranch where Beulah stayed. Sweet Beulah. The mere thought of that fair lady made me see stars that weren't in the sky. Well, I was padding along, lost in delicious thoughts of my one and only true love, when Drover cranked up his Mr. Pitiful routine again. "Hank!" "Hush, Drover." "But Hank..." I said hush, and in my line of work, hush means hush. "But Hank, behind you." "Course you're behind me. You were behind me the day you were born, and everything you've done since then has merely confirmed..." "Hank, we're in trouble." I stopped. Drover ran into me. It was very dark by this time. No moon at all, 'cause we were beneath big cottonwoods that blocked out the moonlight. I poked him in the chest. "Now listen, you sawed-off, stub-tailed, feather-brained little squeak box. I imposed a ban on talking, and for a very good reason. This is coyote country, son, and I don't think it'd be real smart to advertise our location. In case you don't know it, them guys are basically stupid but very dangerous." Would you believe it? The runt growled at me. Hey, I'll take a growl or two off of some dogs, but not out of Drover. I mean, a very important part of heading up ranch security lies in knowing how to control and motivate your employees, don't you see? Give them just enough slack so they can do their job, but every now and then you gotta yank them back in line. On my outfit, insubordination is not allowed, and growling at the boss is insubordination. I gave him a pop on the nose just to get his attention. "Now shut your trap and let's move out." Well, we moved out through bushes and grapevines, over rocks and fallen logs. Drover sure was making a lot of noise back there. Sounded like there were 4 of us on the trail instead of 2. Holy cats, Drover, pick up your feet. "Hank!" "Hush! Silence!" I'd been aware for a long time Drover lacked, shall we say, grace and agility. To put it bluntly, he was clumsy. I mean, he lacked the physical gifts you look for in a sure enough top-of-the-line cowdog. I had learned to put up with his shortcomings, but I'd never learned to like him. Well, there we were on a silent march through coyote country, and he sounded like a cow on snowshoes. Drover, you don't pick up your feet and quit running into bushes. Wait a minute. Halt. Hold it right here. We came to a stop. I sniffed the air. I'm getting a reading on a peculiar smell. You picked it up yet? Yes. I've smelled it before, I'm sure I have. What do you reckon it is? Could it be coyotes? I sniffed again. Not likely. They'd have to be very close for us to get that strong a reading, and there's no way they could have slipped up on us while I was in scouting position. Don't forget who's in charge around here. Okay, but Hank, let's move. There was just enough moonlight filtering through the trees so that I could see a little bit of Drover's head. Well, what's happened to your nose? What? Your nose looks like it got caught in a pencil sharpener. Has it always been that long and sharp? No. And how do you explain? Hey, your eyes weren't yellow this morning, were they? No. Well, something's haywire here. You've undergone a complete transformation. You don't look yourself anymore. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were... Huh? There was a moment of silence, then Drover's voice. A coyote, Hank? Right. Let me ask you one more question, Drover. Are we in Trouble? Y-E-S? I gulped and cleared my throat. I spoke to the mysterious head with the long nose and the yellow eyes. Good evening. My name is Hank the Cowdog. My friend and I were out on a walk, soaking up the sounds and the smells of the night, you might say, and, well, we hadn't expected company, you might say, but it appears that you've joined us. May I ask to whom I am speaking? You talking rip and snort, came the reply in a deep voice. Rip and snort? Well, I'll be dad burned. What a coincidence. We was just looking for you guys. Hunk not smart to look for rip and snort. Many time Hunk make rip and snort look foolish. Coyote not like that. Get mad, fighting and tearing up everything. Now we capture. Hunk in large trouble. Not get away this time. Get away? Captured. Hey, listen, we've been looking for you guys for over an hour. How come you look? I leaned over and whispered in his ear. Snort, you remember that night me and you and your brother went over that old silage pit? Silage, guys, is kind of like corn and different like leftovers and kind of throwaways of stuff on a farm that you might cut down, and it kind of ferments and gets really gross. And what do we know? That dogs, if you know anything about dogs, they really like to kind of eat gross things. But it kind of makes them feel a little wacky in the head when they get into this pit. And in one of the books, they got a hold of it and they got a little bit crazy. He grunted, and I guess that meant yes. Didn't we have a blast that night? What mean blast? It means like boom boom. In the coyote dialect, boom boom means gun. So as you see, we had a little problem with the translation. Lucky thing I was fluent in many languages. No, what I'm saying is we had a great time. You remember? We ate that silage, got a little crazy, went up on that hill and sang all night long. There was just enough moonlight for me to detect a drooling effect in Snort's mouth. In other words, the mere mention of that drinking and being crazy had made his mouth water. This was all part of my plan, don't you see? It was beginning to work. And, Snort, the reason we were looking for you tonight is I kind of forgot how to get over to that silage pit. Now, I'm sure you're too busy to go with us, but, well, maybe you could give me directions. Me talk with brother. For several minutes, they mumbled and muttered, and I had nothing to do but count my heartbeats, 327, and wait. I didn't hear a peep out of Drover. Why do you think you didn't hear a peep out of Drover? You think he's still around? They finished their conference, and Snort spoke. Brother not one take Hunk and little white dog. Brother's hungry. wants to eat Hunk and Little White Dog, then go sing and drinking. What Hunk say about that? Well, I was thinking fast. As you might expect, guys, I think that's not a real good plan. In the first place, dog meat's not all that good. They tell me, I haven't tried it myself. In the second place, if you guys took the time to eat 2 whole dogs, you'd be so full and sleepy you'd never make it to the silage pit. And last but not least, we have the matter of friendship and brotherhood. You guys can't expect to keep friends if you go around eating them. Oh, one more thing. You'll need a tenor for the singing, so I think that you agree. Snort grunted. We talk. Hunk not leave. Me? Leave? Why, I wouldn't think of it. As a matter of fact, that was a small lie. I thought about it a bunch. Major problem in trying to make a run for it was that those 2 thugs had excellent noses. They could have tracked down a sugar ant in a 4-section pasture in the dead of the night. They mumbled and muttered some more, then Snort turned back to me with the verdict. We go to the silage pit, drink, have fun, oh boy, sing many coyote song. Hey, that sounds great, Snort. Then we think about eat dog. I still say that eating your friends is bad manners. He poked me in the chest with his paw. Snort not want dog opinion, and Hunk not try to escape. Who, me? Or we have early supper and sing without tenor. We don't want that, do we? Make a line, Snort in front, Rip behind, 2 dogs in the middle. Yes, sir. I took my place in the middle and looked around for Little Drover, and you know what? That runt had disappeared. Those coyotes had been so busy threatening me, they hadn't even noticed. They held another conference and discussed whether or not they wanted to take the time to hunt him down, which they most certainly could have done, but they had drinking on their minds and decided to forget about Drover. As Snort said, sticking his grinning snout right in my face. Hunk make plenty grub. Save Little Dog for a snack. So we formed a line and off we went to the silage pit. I was determined to have a good time since this might be my last opportunity. That's the end. Tomorrow's chapter upload will be chapter 7, Rotten Meat. Let's just say that Hank and the boys are going to make it to the pit, and Hank's going to get a little silly. Anyway, so I hope you're enjoying this. I have been updating some distance learning things. I'm going to post a separate message for you. The dogs went out. I'm out and they're not happy about it. Oh, there they go. It's a dog stampede. Oh my gosh. Here. There they go. There's Coco. Hi, Coco. There's Shoodles. She can't stand it. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's Evie. I don't know if you can see him. My animals are crazy. Anyway, so I guess they like a story about dogs. I miss you guys terribly. I hope that you're able to check your Google Classrooms, or you have a packet of learning, or you have what you need. If not, don't forget to reach out. Encourage Mrs. Dabino's teacher page with updates. And I'm emailing all of your parents. Sorry, I keep itching my nose. My allergies are kicking me in the rear today. This week, actually. Anyway, so I feel like I will give you a little bit of an update on actual learning here later. But here, I hope you enjoyed today's excerpt from our novel. And I will talk to you soon.